product. And I think, here I'm a little bit more pessimistic than usual, I think that the same goes even for many progressive causes, so-called, which are typical today. For example, now I will say something very brutal. Why do some of us like to buy organic food? I think you don't really believe. Don't tell me that you really believe because half-rotten apples who cost more healthy, genetically manipulated, are really more healthy. I also don't think that you signal some great social status with this. It's simply, I think it's just this pathetic, sentimental identification. There are problems today in the world, and by buying organic food, you know, I participate, I render my life meaningful. It's not just a stupid consummation, I do something, I care for nature, and so on and so on. And this type of manipulation is at its worst, I really hate them, with, you have them unfortunately here already, I saw, Starbucks coffee. Their entire publicity, you know, like, buy this coffee and you are helping some stupid Guatemala family, you know, like, you buy coffee from food Guatemalans, so, or they have now even in the United States, they sell water which they call it ethos like ethics. And they claim that drink this water and 5% of the price you pay goes to some special foundation which brings waters to those in desert areas, so like, you know, you not only consume and so on. The problem, of course, is that they earn even more because the water costs $2.50. So they charge it 50 cents more and they give 5 cents and so on. But my point is, you see the logic of how consummation is no longer just consummation. It's also a social, ethical experience and so on and so on. Which is why I think charity plays a crucial role today in making something good, us feel good, and so on. In what sense? Let's imagine a simple experiment. Along the lines of a film that I think should be rediscovered as one of the great Hollywood leftist films. Maybe some of you know it. John Carpenter, here's the one who did Halloween, strangely. He did a very weird film, I think in the early 90s, called They Live. It's a modest science fiction film about an unemployed worker in Los Angeles who enters an abandoned church looking where to spend the night. He's also homeless and finds a box with strange sunglasses. And he puts the sunglasses on, walks along the street, and notices something strange. These are literally ideology critique sunglasses. If you put these sunglasses on, you can see like the real message. Like he looks across the street, there is a big publicity board, visit Hawaii, have the holiday of your life, enjoy. He puts the glasses on and he sees, be stupid, enjoy, don't think, just and so on, whatever. So, that's the question I'm asking you. If we were, when you see on TV or newspapers, you know, these disgustingly manipulative ads, usually disfigured child from Africa, and then they tell you, like, give the price of 2-3 cappuccinos, 10 euros a month, and you will save a black kid's child or life or whatever. All nice, but what would we have seen if we were to put on this kind of glasses? I think two messages. The first one is, do you have anxiety about that you lead a relatively good life and people are starving? Fine, we are offering you an easy way out, no? Give 10 euros a month and you can stop worrying, no? The other thing is a deeply conservative, I claim, motive of depoliticization. In the sense of, in what sense? You know, the old left liked the rhetoric of emergency state, in the sense of, we live here in our isolated ivory tower, but are we aware that people are starving out there? But today, Bill Gates talks like that. Bill Gates, almost in all his interviews, says something like, and that's the message, let's forget about this old, stupid, dogmatic struggles, left, right, ideology, capitalism. People are starving in Africa. Let's all come together, business, private, government, and let's do something, and so on. And that's the message, I think. Do it, that is to say, don't think, do it. It has precisely the message under this, in the terms of this false emergency state of like pushing us towards activity instead of analyzing critically the situation, which is why I think that today we should be precisely shamelessly against doing. In the sense that I'm almost tempted to say that one should turn around today the Marxist thesis 11, you know, philosophers have only interpreted the world, we have also to change it. That maybe we tried only to change the world too much, it's time to interpret it again, right? To understand where we stand and so on. We should be absolutely shameless here. So, back to my main point, I didn't use my friend. So, we have first liberal tolerant hedonism, all these ethics of self-realization and so on. We have a more Nietzschean immoral ethics, and we have what I call Western Buddhism. What did Lacan want to say with this maxim? Let's go through these versions. The first thing to state categorically is that Lacanian ethics is not an ethics of hedonism. Whatever do not compromise your desire means, it does not mean the unrestrained rule of what Freud called Lustprinzip, the functioning of the psychic apparatus that aims at achieving pleasure. For Lacan, hedonism is in fact the very model of postponing desire on behalf of realistic compromises. In order to attain the greatest amount of pleasure, I have to calculate, economize, I have to sacrifice short-term pleasures for the more intense long-term ones. There is no break between Lustprinzip and its counterpart, Realitätsprinzip. Realitätsprinzip, which compels us to take into account the limitations of reality, which obstruct our direct access to pleasures, is an inherent prolongation of Lustprinzip. And again, as already said, even so-called Western Buddhism is not immune to this trap. But for Lacan, desire is an ethical category. It functions, it's not desire, does not mean follow your natural spontaneous inclinations and so on. It functions like the Kantian ethical duty, like a foreign traumatic intruder which from the outside disturbs the subject's homeostatic balance. It is, for Lacan, it's desire itself which is Jenseits des Lustprinzips. Desire means that you follow it even if it brings pain. So hedonism is to be rejected. That's not what Lacan means. Is then Lacanian ethics a version of the heroic immoral ethics, which enjoins us to remain faithful to oneself, to persist on our chosen path beyond good and evil? Think about Don Giovanni in the last act of Mozart's opera, where the stone guest confronts Don Giovanni with a choice. He is near death, but if he repents for his sins, he can still be redeemed. If, however, he does not renounce his sinful life, he will burn in hell forever. Don Giovanni heroically refuses to repent, although he is well aware that he has nothing to gain except eternal suffering for his persistence. Why does he do it? Obviously, not for any profit or promise of pleasure to come. The only explanation is his utmost fidelity to the dissolute life he has chosen. This is a clear case of immoral ethics. Don Giovanni's life was undoubtedly immoral. However, as his fidelity to himself demonstrates, he was immoral not for pleasure or profit, but out of principle, acting the way he did as part of a fundamental existential choice. Or, to take a feminine